Swiped is inspired by the real-life story of Whitney Wolfe, who created not one, but two of the biggest dating apps of all time. And the film explores the challenges she faced, some of the cultural issues at play, and how she sort of channeled all of that into trying to make something better. When I learned about Whitney's story, I just found it, inspirational, but also cinematic, how she sort of took the hardest things that had ever happened to her and forged them into this big success. And additionally, on a more, personal level, I've been a woman in a male-dominated field, as many women are, and I've experienced, not only sort of in-ideal behavior, but also the push and pull of how to succeed in that field, and how much do you sort of work within the status quo versus push back and try to make a change. And I find that a really interesting and tough tension, and so that was a big part of it for me. I like to think that the film is complex enough that when people watch it, they'll have different thoughts and different feelings and relate to different parts of it. And so really, for me, the conversation is the thing. I've been having conversations with my friends and colleagues for years about misogyny and trying to navigate these cultural issues. And so if I can spark more of those conversations, that's really the dream for me. I am just the luckiest director in the world. Lily James, obviously, our star, was incredible. I mean, so hardworking. She took it so seriously to portray this real person, did a huge amount of research, and just came super prepared and super down to just figure out the best version of it with me. And then Dan Stevens was magic. I actually think he was magic. The little twinkle in his eye that he created, and sort of the almost a little bit of a Willy Wonka vibe that he brought to the character was such a delight. Myhala, who's here, is she grounds everything. I would say she makes it look easier than any actor I've ever seen. She just kind of steps on and casually says her stuff and is done, and I'm like, how did you do that? Across the board, it's a real ensemble, and I'm so lucky. I'm just proud of this casting, really. The thing that made me want to tell it was these cultural issues and sort of trying to navigate that status quo, pushing back on it, and figuring out issues around complicity and sort of responsibility, personal responsibility. And so I think, it's about dating apps, yes, it's about tech, but those themes that underlie it were my primary focus. And so I think hopefully that shines through in the film.